All right. Hello and welcome to the brand new segment, Late to the Party News. I am your host, John, the creative blue collar guy, and I have some familiar characters with me tonight. But I decided that since I work a full time job and then also have a very busy side hustle, there are certain news stories that I would like to talk about with my friends and with the chat. Any of you that join me, thank you for being here. But I'm never going to be one of those channels that is going to be up to the minute, breaking news. This thing just happened, because it usually either happens when I'm at work or over the weekend when I'm trying to actually enjoy my life or work my side hustle. However, these are topics that I think are worth talking about. So, late to the party news. And here we are. Have with me Roman. How are you doing today on this fine Monday?
I'm not bad. I'm not bad. It's 9,050 degrees here in the studio of the Empire, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm not wearing pants, and there is ice on my balls.
Yes, it is ball fan season. Yes. That's a nice hat too, though. It's very fancy. It's almost
Thank
like
you.
what
This
I
is
would
new.
call a musician's
this is a
hat.
new hat. Yes, I have I have a tan version, and now I have this hat. Both my wife and son hate it, which makes me think it's the right thing to do.
Are you, but as soon as we're done with the show today, are you going to go out to an RV and start cooking meth, or like?
No, actually, we got the tents
then,
for the houses now, so we're in that phase. So if there's a termite fence or a termite tent in our neighborhood, that's where I am. So
perfect, love it. And then we have our favorite wizard, who is never late. He always arrives precisely when he means to. Blair to Blair, how are you doing, buddy? I feel like it's been a long time since we've talked.
It's been a minute, yeah. So I'm currently in my air-conditioned basement, freezing my ass off.
Mr. Fancy
Let's
Pants
see, you're
in his
wearing a
cold
hoodie down
basement.
there.
I'm wearing a hoodie and pants and everything.
No pants. No pants.
Very nice, very nice. And we were just complimenting you on your bookshelves there behind you now backstage. So you finally have your nice new backdrop there. But you were saying that you still couldn't fit everything that you have on there.
No. So these are actually two separate bookcases. I'm contemplating getting a third one so I can buy more stuff and put it on there. So, because you got your
speaking of buying more stuff, though, this is probably a stupid question, but Roman, have you bought any records this week? Of course you have.
Well, no, actually, I haven't. No, wait, no. Well, if we look define week, it's only Monday, but I did buy 2 records last week, and I have one that I'm bidding on. So I bought Black Sabbath's Sabotage, which is the last of the good Black Sabbath albums. Unless you like Dio, I don't like Dio, and I don't like the weird experimental phase that Sabbath went into after Sabotage. So from the Wizard is the first Black Sabbath album up to Sabotage, solid, and then it gets weird, and then it goes Dio. So like I said, a lot of that is preference. And I got something else. And I can't remember what it is, but right now I do have Ramone's Brain Drain on order. I'm in a bidding war on eBay right now. That was the last really solid album the Ramones put out. It did have CJ, the bass player, on it, which wasn't fantastic, but Pet Sematary is on that, and so you've got the production on that album is really good too. If you look at the songs, like, oh wow, all these are great songs, but they're not on the best of the Ramones because that came out before. So anyway, so that's where I am, and I will remember that album sometime in the middle of the show and blurt it out randomly.
So are you are you of the camp that you only like the Ozzy era of Sabbath, because they went through quite the revolving door of singers throughout the years?
Yes,
so it's pretty much it's Ozzy or nothing for you.
Yeah, with Black Sabbath. There are other bands like Deep Purple that I have more flexibility with, but as far as Sabbath, it's the Ozzy years.
Mm-hmm. He did have, I mean, he had a unique enough voice to where it's like, you know, you try to say, oh, you change band members, it shouldn't necessarily change the whole sound of the band, but his voice was unique enough that it's like when you don't have Ozzy, like you don't have the sound.
No, and to be fair, and conversely, I don't like Ozzy by himself. I don't
No,
like
his
just
solo career, he went all like 80s
no.
glam rock, like
No, and a lot of people like that stuff. It's just that's not my bag, baby. I just cannot.
I mean, Randy Rhoads, don't get me wrong, like I'm of that camp of like I'm not a fan of like that era, that style. Like a lot of like the glam rock stuff from the 80s was absolute trash, but I mean, when he had Randy Rhoads playing for him though, that I mean,
Yeah.
Crazy Train,
Diary
come
of
on.
Madman. Yeah, that was good stuff.
Yeah.
His first two solos.
And like I said, it's a lot of preference stuff. I'm not saying
Yeah.
it's bad. I'm saying it's not for me. There are things out there that are objectively bad. And you and I can pick that stuff apart all day long.
Like
but
Nick
the Ozzy
Cave
stuff,
and Leonard Cohen and like,
no.
oh boy.
What is the other album that I bought? I'm really irritated with myself.
That's where you know you have a problem. You don't even know what you're bidding on. It's just, you know.
Right. I have no idea. I only bought 2 this week.
I've been trying to tell him it's like the first step to recovery is admitting you have a problem. Like you know, every week he's always like, oh, he's like, I bought another album, I did this, I did that, and it's like you have the
if it's
power
only
to
been
stop
one album a
this.
week, I'm doing good. And normally it's like way more, you know, because I've got a problem. Oh. Okay, okay. Megadeth. It's Megadeth Peace Cells. That's what the other one is.
There you go.
Okay, all right.
Sorry. Oh, why that was.
Yeah. So before we really get moving here, let's go through the chat real quick. We've got Jacob Ironside in the house. Hello, Jacob. Thank you for tuning in. We have Cajun Corey, and I believe Lady Marine has joined us as well. Hello. No, Roman is not wearing silkies because he was not a Marine, thankfully.
And I'm not wearing underwear or pants. I'm just here. It's all Roman, baby.
And that's fine. You know, in the group chat getting ready for this, he said, do I have to wear pants? And I said, well, you know, we're only going to see you pretty much from the chest up, so pants are optional. I know the part of town that Roman lives in, and I know that it is hotter than Satan's ball sack there right now, and Roman is in his garage. I am currently in my air-conditioned apartment. Blair is in his air-conditioned basement.
I know, so, it's what I do for the Empire. It's what I do, you know. It's all part of the experience. Before we roll into this, John, I have to say I'm very fond of the rolling news background you have going on, dude. It looks great. It's like Blair and I were talking about it before you came in. We're like, man, this is like a real level up. It looks fancy. It looks like we actually are doing something here. This
like
is quality.
my new intro and everything, but I feel like I need to take that like breaking news music from that, but I need to like have it ready right here in my sounds where I can just be like, da-da-da-da, breaking news. Like, really all I have right now is just the fail sound.
That's pretty good. Actually, that sums up a lot of what we're going to be talking about tonight, my friend.
Oh, it loops. Hold on, let me turn that off.
It loops. It just keeps going. You can't stop it. The whole show that's going.
It just keeps on going.
It's peculiar. We don't usually have that.
Roman likes to snuggle up with marinara sauce and Olive Garden breadsticks while listening to Journey. Oh.
Every word in that sentence is wrong.
Yeah, but just real quick though, before we move forward, I feel like this bears repeating.
That's good.
All right, so now that that's been settled, I don't even know where to start at this point. There's so many different topics to try to cover. I know, like Roman, you've probably done a lot of research on the stuff we're going to talk about today. What do you think? What's forefront of your mind you want to get out right now?
Lead in with the Tenacious D stuff because I think that's good. And then we have a lot of other stuff that has happened since then. I think that's the older story in the bunch.
Yeah,
but it's also really important for a lot of reasons. I didn't get into arguments with people about this, but I do think people are dumb trying to defend this. And I'm saying that out loud. So if you're trying to defend us, you're watching, you're dumb.
Well, and here's a quick little like side note, whatever, not to get like too far off track, but an interesting thing that I've been seeing developing over the last few days is that the internet at large, Google, big corporations, and mainstream media are now actually literally saying that the attempt on Trump's life was fake news and that it didn't happen and that the photo was altered and whatever. And I'm like, okay, you know what? At this point, like, I'm not here to tell anyone who to vote for. I'm not here to tell anyone what to do, what to think, whatever, but to look at what is literally happening right in front of our eyes with something like that. It's like we saw this on live television. He was, you know, the bullet clipped his ear. He had the blood on his face. We watched this happen. This wasn't like, oh, a day later, here's a photoshopped picture of, you know, what, like, but now like they're literally like, oh no, this didn't really happen. And I should have, the screenshot is on my phone. I should have brought it up here. I saw this going around on Instagram that if you know, when you like type stuff into Google and it like starts to like autofill. And if you, I'm not making this up. Any one of you sitting here watching this right now, get your phone out right now and try it. Go to Google and start typing in assassination attempt on, and then just type TR. Just don't type out Trump. Just type the TR, and it will be like, oh, assassination attempt on Truman. How many assassinations have there been on presidents? So it does not autofill assassination attempt on Trump. And there are literally news sources saying that it's fake news and it didn't happen and the photo is altered. That's neither here nor there. But this is why I don't trust the news or the media. Or the...
This is crazy though, because
same thing. I get
real time watching them do. This isn't you know, some other country, you know, Soviet Union style stuff. This is the stuff. This is your media, and forgive me, FBI agent Fred, your government actively working to censor an event. And even the normie can't ignore what's going on here. I mean, I'm more into news than a lot of people are, which fine.
But the thing is though, is that the left needs their big boogeyman to go after, and right now Trump is their boogeyman. So even though 4 years ago nobody wanted Harris, now they've put her up here. They've propped her up here as the front runner. And as long as she's the person to take down their boogeyman, people are going to believe anything. Like, I'm already going down a big rabbit hole, but Devin, our friend of the North and good old Canada, Devin sent me something yesterday, and it was like the most outlandish things that like people are literally believing. Like, if Trump is elected, all of these horrible things will happen. Anyways, I digress. Not trying to go super down that rabbit hole, but just because this is related to
none of that happened. You know, this isn't an unknown we're dealing with. He's been president before. He's the president again. You know, it's just going to be more of that. You know, people are not going to be rounded up and, you know, executed or hunted down internationally, and freedom is not going to die. All that, you know, whatever.
Right.
Don't listen to Joy.
All that being said, this story is now going on 2, maybe 3 weeks old, whatever. But I don't need to pull up the video clip because I'm sure everyone's already seen it 100 times. But the clip where Tenacious D was playing in Australia, it was Kyle Gass's birthday. They brought a cake out saying happy birthday to him, and Jack Black tells him, you know, make a wish. And Kyle Gass says, don't miss Trump next time. And I was just like, if, let's say like the attempt was actually successful and Trump had actually died, like, would people have been online literally celebrating the death of somebody? I don't care how much you hate someone. It, like that's such a like sick thing to be like, oh yeah, like,
question, I wish you'd John. Yes, they would.
Yeah, yes,
they would, because they were so disappointed that it didn't happen.
That if he had gotten him, it would have been all over the place. They would have been,
and they lacked the understanding to know how bad such an event would have been. They can't even grasp that. But then the whole
I don't think people understand that this was a historical moment. Like the amount of attempts that have been made on presidents' lives throughout the years are so few and far between. some unfortunately successful, some just attempts, but it's like it's such a rare event. I honestly don't think people are grasping like the gravity of what happened. And again, it's like I don't care if you love or hate the guy, whether you voted for him or whether you know whatever. But it's like it's such a sick thing to be like, oh yeah, like don't miss next time. Like,
No, and we
but
don't think the same. I don't want that for my political.
I don't wish that on
foes.
Biden. No,
That's not the way things work, because that is that's a break in the country. That's how civil wars start.
Yeah. So we saw the clip. Kyle Gass made the stupid joke, and here's the funny thing too is that both Kyle Gass and Jack Black separately issued apologies, but they were like 2 to 3 days later. So it wasn't until there was backlash. He made the joke. Jack Black sort of just laughed and went along with it, and they were like, "Oh, okay, fine. Like let's just like go about our lives." And then, actually, much to my surprise, because of how much Trump is hated, there was massive amounts of backlash because you don't want to be on that wrong side of history like that. And after the backlash, they both issued their separate apologies. Jack Black fully threw him under the bus and was like, I was blindsided. I didn't know what to do.
But he's lying,
wow.
though.
Like,
he lied. He lied. He was laughing like a freaking hyena on stage.
He agrees. He feels the same way. Like, but apparently,
he didn't cancel the tour. So
yeah, he canceled the tour. Kyle Gass's talent agency dropped him because they don't want to be involved with something like that. So Gass's initial apology on Instagram stating, I don't condone violence of any kind in any form against anyone. What happened was a tragedy, and I'm incredibly sorry for my severe lack of judgment. I profoundly apologize to those I've let down and truly regret any pain I've caused. However, this apology has since been removed from his Instagram. But let's just pause there for a minute, though. Like, all of the verbiage and all the everything in there, it plays out exactly like every apology that happens when somebody gets caught. He's not sorry that he said it. He's sorry that people were upset. The severe lack of judgment, profoundly apologize, regret any pain I've caused. Like, it's just such a generic blanket statement. And like, you don't actually regret this. You're not actually sorry. You're just all of a sudden like, like I'm losing everything I've worked for. I'm losing my livelihood. I'm getting canceled, basically. Like, oh shit. Like,
didn't venues start canceling because they got so much people contacting them that they're like, this is too hot for us?
Yeah, I think there was something that like other like venues were starting to cancel, and that's why Jack Black just like pulled the plug and was like, we're canceling the rest of the tour. He's like, future creative endeavors are on hold indefinitely. Like, he basically broke up the band. He's like we're done, because even though like he's a big lefty and he probably would have said the same thing had it been his birthday, he's also a fairly big name actor, so he's trying to save face so he doesn't lose his career.
Is this Gas guy do anything other than Tenacious D? Is he like a producer?
He has acted a little bit. Like, he had like a really small role in Elf and stuff, but like, yeah, he doesn't really do much else that I know of.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
So, here Jack Black's statement said, I was blindsided by what was said at the show on Sunday. I would never condone hate speech or encourage political violence in any form. He continued, after much reflection, I no longer feel it's appropriate to continue the tour, and all future creative plans are on hold. I'm grateful to the fans for their support and understanding.
Mark my words, like they will start it up again, John. They're going to start it up again,
but like
because they're trying to push it aside, so they're going to start it up again.
But then this was the really interesting part, and this was even before either one of them issued their apologies. Australia's former prime minister. Makes me feel sick. Someone would joke about violence, physically ill. People might think it's a bit funny. Haha, at a concert to run off your mouth about that stuff. The Prime Minister of Australia said he wanted them deported immediately after that happened. He wanted them out of the country. And I was like, that's interesting. In like Australia, a country that is so incredibly liberal. I think they had the most intense lockdowns over the last 4 years. Yes. And even that guy was like, get these people out of my country. Wow. Oh, we got a meme from Jacob. Hold on here.
Oh, Oh, Jacob, what did you do?
Here we go.
Something magical, I'm sure. Well, just know it's probably not going to be breadsticks because that's JT's thing.
You never know. The breadsticks pop up in peculiar places these days.
I would rethink that statement.
Him canceling that, it was like saving face because it got canceled on them. So it's always better for you to come out and say, yeah, we decided to pull the plug rather than admit that nobody will let you play, you know.
Yeah.
I look pretty good, actually. I look a lot more convincing than what's the president of France? His wife. I look better than her. I look a lot better than her. Truth.
Oh boy. Well, that's just you just can't unsee that. I need to go scrub
Well,
my
you know,
eyes out with
surprisingly,
bleach
that's
now.
like one of the least offensive memes out there about me. So that's pretty good. I'll take it.
Oh boy.
Couple drinks.
All right.
What?
So
Hit that. Why not?
Hey, sailor.
all right, so that's the Kyle Gass
Just ruining
story.
his weekend wear.
Who do we want to do next? We want to talk about RDJ. You can do that one. That's the most
We can
recent,
talk
probably.
RDJ.
Yeah,
we can
I think you have that article, right, Roman?
Yeah, let me bring it up here.
it needs to be addressed.
Yeah, I now
It's like there's just no other actors in the whole world.
I know, right?
Don't get me wrong, I like him. He's a good actor, but it's just like
yeah, so the big reveal at Comic-Con.
so yes, Roman does do the Marge Simpson voice, but only when he's talking
well,
about
technically I'm doing the Mrs. of the Empire voice, which in my brain has a Marge Simpson filter on it. So that's how you get that.
Iron Dude.
So so this was huge at Comic-Con. Yeah, everybody's probably seen the video where they all come out, they're all wearing the masks, and then
we saw it, yeah.
Feige's like, we have the only man who could play Doctor Doom. He comes out, he pulls off the mask, and the place it just explodes with the fans.
I think there's a little bit of like sticker shock there where it's like whether people are going to actually be excited about him playing the character or not. It's the idea that it's like there's Robert Downey Jr. I feel like I should clap. Like it, yeah. Then they have a second to process and then be like, wait, this is dumb.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody was happy to see him. They're like, ooh, wait, no.
Wait a second. Ooh,
what
no.
So, and here's the problem, and this is one of the things Marvel is leaning heavy on right now. So they started this with Endgame, well, with Ant-Man technically, but the whole multiverse scenario. They are
getting out of control.
So heavy into that. They have smartly pivoted away from the Kang storyline. That's not going to happen. Even if Jonathan Majors didn't allegedly beat people, it still was a non-starter. Those movies were the duds. That's phase 4. No one was watching.
Nobody was excited about it. Like that first phase 1, phase 2, all this stuff leading up, like there was so much excitement. Like you wanted to stay for the post-credit scene because you wanted to see like, oh, they're teasing like the next movie is going to be Thor. Oh, they're teasing, you know, the next movie is going to be, you know, whatever. Nobody is excited for anything in the MCU anymore. Deadpool and Wolverine, we'll get to that in a minute, was like the last thing that I was just like, okay,
that's
I
the
saw
one
Guardians 3. I saw Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm like, I'm done. I'm over this shit.
Yep.
So I have no desire to see Agatha. Or
oh fuck! Oh, sorry.
They said nobody. They said nobody talked about that. Like all of Comic-Con, like in Hall H and all that. They said there was no mention of that show.
And that's their next thing. Do you think they'd be plugging that like crazy? Yeah, that should.
I think they're distancing themselves without distancing themselves. They're not pushing it away, but they ain't talking about it.
Yeah,
it's there
because they realize it's going to be a huge turd.
I don't know what the reaction to like Captain America: Brave New World is going to be. I don't suspect it's going to be good.
Terrible.
I don't think it's going to be good. So
I saw
and
Deadpool
I was
and
talking.
Wolverine on Thursday, and of course there was
Yep.
a trailer for Captain America: Brave New World, and I'm just like, is this just going to be another like 2 hours of him telling everybody that they need to do better?
Hey, Dempsey.
Well, because
I probably.
go ahead, Mark.
Hey, what's up, Dempsey? Thanks for
I'm
joining
sure
us.
there's of one
Hey,
of the
Dempsey!
4 movies they've made so far. I'm sure it's in one of them. You know, a whole spiel
So
about that.
and here's my other thing too, like just with the pattern that the Avengers movies have typically seen. You look at it like, okay, in 2008 we had Iron Man. That was like the first one that like launched the whole thing. By 2012 we had the Avengers, and then there was another series of movies, and then it was what, 2014 or 2015 we had Age of Ultron. 2017 we had Infinity War, then Endgame. So there was like a formula and a pattern where like every 2 to 3 years there would be an Avengers movie bringing them all together, and then the standalones. We have not had an Avengers movie since 2018. Like, it's such a mess now that they haven't even been able to bring a cohesive story together and make an Avengers movie.
No, I don't, and I don't want them to. Here's the problem. One of the many problems with the MCU. To say there's a problem is like saying, I have toes. The problem is that they don't have a core group of heroes that anybody cares about.
Exactly.
No, they used all of the.
You have Thor, who's kind of a broken vessel right now because Love and Thunder basically kicked him in the balls. You have Hulk.
They use all of the good characters in the beginning. So every character that every normie has heard of, the whole Captain America, like all of the characters that normies have heard of have been used.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're trying to do deep dives into characters that only the really, really dedicated comic book fans have heard of, but they're just like pissing all over the comic book fans and giving them these absolute trash movies.
Well, you have the replacements. You have Ironheart. You have She-Hulk. You have Kate Bishop. You got T'Challa's sister. It's like, the, back up to the main character's sister, that kind of stuff. That's going to be your Avengers. And
my cousin's sister's
nobody wants to see that crap. No. Nobody bought the comic books for one.
True.
Nobody, not even a lot of comic book people even know who they are, much less normies. They're gonna be like, "What the hell is this?" And you're gonna try to, make a 200 and let's be honest, like $300+ million movie with marketing. You're talking about 400 million, and then you're gonna try to make a profit. You're not even gonna get your money back. And forget Disney Plus. It's not making money. What's that? Captain America now 4 is up to. It's probably going to be $500 million once they're said and done.
They've had a lot of problems.
They're going to have to make
they had to do a lot of reshoots.
They're going to have to make over $1 billion to even get to break even. Forget profitability. This is going to be another money loss. So
this is another time.
My prediction: they'll make another Dark Phoenix story. Fantastic Four movie, and they will both fail hard. Well, I was just reading yesterday. Pedro Pascal is going to play Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah,
and they're going to have a lady Silver Surfer.
And the trailer is out for this. It's not technically a trailer. I forget what they call it. The sizzle reel. It doesn't look from the shots and everything. It doesn't look terrible. But here's my problem. Pascal is playing Pedro Pascal. That's pretty much his character.
That's all he knows how to do.
Danny over at Comics and Cosmetics was doing this yesterday, and I told her he's neither my first nor my 27th choice to play Mr. Fantastic. Pascal is good as certain things. I don't think this is an appropriate role for him. I don't think
man alive. No,
I don't think he's a dynamic enough actor either. He's just kind of, he's just there doing his thing. Gladiator 2. So we have Doctor Doom, we have the Fantastic Four. These are not in the same movies, but the Fantastic Four are supposed to be in the Avengers 5 and 6. I don't know how they're doing that, and I don't know. Again, we're dealing with multiverse stuff. I don't know how these lines are going to work and come together. They got the Russo brothers back. The magic duo who gave you Infinity War and Endgame and my favorite, Captain America Civil War.
But
they got him back.
I mean, at this point, they're just another mouthpiece that's going to do what the almighty machine tells them to do.
I don't know. I don't know how, because they've done some good work and some bad work independent of the Marvel sphere at this point. They did a movie called The Gray Man, which was kind of meh. They did the Extraction films too, though.
Those are great.
There you go. Those were good. Then they did like a series called The Sentinel, which I didn't watch myself, but I heard other people saying wasn't great. I didn't care enough about it to go explore it. So, whatever. Now bringing the Russos back, could it I'm 50-50 on this.
Who writes it though? Who's the writer going to be? Because that they got the Infinity War team back together, is what I understand is happening. They could maybe make a good Fantastic Four movie. It's going to be set in the 60s. So that's going to be
that's its own thing though. That's not the Russos. That's
going to be somebody else. Okay,
that's somebody else. Somebody else. I don't know.
And RDJ, they're saying that he's going to be the Tony Stark is going to go evil and become Doctor Doom.
He's a variant,
he's a variant.
Like
more
multiverse.
Yes, more multi bullshit. Great.
Which,
now we got that.
I think the only reason why Spider-Man No Way Home was successful in doing that is because they had two other actors who had played the character, so they were able to kind of like play with that a little bit and be like,
people are really
we've got Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and we've got Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, but like there haven't been any other Iron Man movies, or so it's like there's whole like whatever multiverse thing they're doing where they're going to use the same actor, but then pull like what are you doing? It's just it's I think what a lot of the internet was speculating was that they just know the movies that are coming up are going to be such turds that they need to use Robert Downey Jr.'s like massive star power to like make people want to go see it just to see him.
No, you're not wrong. There must have been a dump truck full of money that showed up.
Oh God, he got paid. He got paid.
He's an Oscar-winning actor now as well. It's not, when you get the Oscar, that bumps up your paycheck.
Well, it was just like them. It was just like them casting Paul Rudd in Ant-Man. I liked the first Ant-Man movie, but the second and third got progressively worse. So by the third one, the only reason people went and saw Ant-Man and the Wasp, whatever the third one was called, was because people like Paul Rudd. But that was severely diminished at that point. Yeah, they're like, oh, I like Paul Rudd, so okay, fine. But it's like, that only carries it so far.
You guys talk about the B team. No, they're sitting in the D and E and F teams right now. B would be a massive upgrade to what's coming.
It would. B would be a big upgrade because B is your Hawkeye. Who else is left? Thor is not B team. Thor is A team, but Thor is a broken character, so I don't even qualify.
They've ruined Thor. Like it's just they've made him take a back seat. But then did everybody see Thor: Love and Thunder? Is this going to be a spoiler if I say something?
Go ahead.
Or does anyone care anymore?
I fell asleep.
Lady Thor died. Like she still died. It was the thing of like she got cancer, but then she got the hammer and she became Lady Thor or whatever, but she still died in the movie. So it's like we can't even really bring back Lady Thor, but now we've we've just like completely emasculated and broken down real Thor. So it's like he's not even interesting anymore. He's like another Star-Lord. He's just another like dick joke.
Yeah, exactly.
He is the dick joke.
Ever since Guardians of the Galaxy, and don't get me wrong, I love the Guardians movies, but ever since Guardians of the Galaxy was a huge hit, the MCU just took this like hard shift where like everything has to be a comedy now.
They destroyed Namor, so you can't do a Namor movie.
Oh, they really messed up Namor, and that was too bad. Here, I'm going to throw this up real quick, John. So this is this weekend. This is domestic box office. 211 million for Deadpool, and I think worldwide it actually was bigger.
Oh, it broke records. They said it is by far the highest grossing R-rated film opening weekend ever.
Yep, it beat Deadpool 1. which held it previously.
like
So
these are
And
the
good.
moments where it's like, look at what people are responding to. Look at what people are willing to spend their money on. Look at what people are willing to go to the theater for, rather than saying, oh, I'll wait until I can rent it for $20, or oh, I'll wait until it's on Disney Plus. No, it's like
yeah,
Oh,
people
here it is.
flooded to the theaters to see this movie. They're so excited for it, and it's like this was the level of excitement that there was in like phase 1 and 2 of Marvel.
exactly.
Like,
I wanted to see it. Me and my son saw it last night. I'm going to see it again.
Oh, good. I'm really bummed out that Max didn't like it, but I think I think like Max kind of holds things to like an unfair measure sometimes. Like he's expecting like a true to form comic book adaptation.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I mean, Ryan Reynolds is probably done with his contract. He's probably not going to be back as Deadpool. We know Hugh Jackman is done because they had to bring him back for this one. He said he was done after Logan, which I thought was a beautiful send-off, but this movie was well done as well, in my opinion. Yes, it was really heavy on the humor. You know, when you watch a Ryan Reynolds movie, you know what you're getting. It's going to be his like quick wit, lots of jokes, lots of, whatever. But yeah, I saw it on Thursday when it came out. I thought it was great. I was laughing my ass off the whole time, and lots of good surprises. No spoilers because Roman hasn't seen it yet, but
I have
lots
not
of
seen
really
it yet.
cool surprises throughout. I thought
laughed.
it was really good. Liked it. It
I
was
laughed a
just
lot.
it was like it was everything I expected. It was the funny, witty humor, the fight scenes, just everything. It was like, yeah, this is what fans wanted when they said Deadpool was going to be in Wolverine Origins. And that bastardized version of
That was
that
was so
bad.
bad.
So bad.
Very bad.
And the problem here is that it is a one-off. This isn't.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
isn't.
it's a send off. It's not. They're not
This isn't-
teasing or building up to something new. It was a send off for both of the characters.
What it does do is it gives Marvel a break. It splits up all their phase 4 BS, and it's over here now. Then there's the Deadpool marker in their world. Everything from this point forward, they're pivoting from. They're going in different directions. They're stuck with stuff that they've already made. That's how you get Agatha, the show that no one gives a shit about, and that's how you get the Captain America movie that's gone through some incredible amount of refilming that is making it one of the if not the most expensive movie ever made.
Yeah,
the amount of reshoots that movies do now is absolutely fascinating to me. Like, if you make a movie and you stand behind the movie, make the movie and put it out. Don't look on the internet. Don't look at what fans are saying, whatever. It's like, if you think that you're putting out a good product, put it out. But that's the thing, is now in this world of Twitter and everything else and stuff, it's like the filmmakers are looking at the internet and going, oh no, like we should change this. We should reshoot this. It's like, no, it's like you write a good story, make a good movie, and then stand by it, but don't cave to what people are telling you to do or not do. Like,
so like on reshoots, how long? So principal photography takes like a month or so, month and a half. That takes what, a year and a half to do special effects correctly. If they just did a month of reshoots, and this comes out in February, you know the CGI is going to be dog shit bad.
Oh, that.
Because they just
that's what I'm expecting, honestly,
to make it look proper.
And
it was like DC. You know, DC, they had all this stuff coming. James Gunn announces that all that Snyderverse shit is done and over. We're not going through there. They had all these movies that are coming out that just were set up to fail, like Aquaman and Blue Beetle and Shazam. It's like, oh my God, you might as well not even put those out in the theater. Restrict the video of those things if you could, because they all just were shot in the head. If they're real serious about moving away from this stuff, which I don't think they are, I think they're going to be in the multiverse forever. They're stuck with it. This ain't going to make any money. I think at this point, there's like, how much less can we lose at this point?
But too, like, if the movie's gonna fail, and then their same old rhetoric, oh, you just didn't like it because you're a this and a that and a phobe and a blah 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 blah, whatever. It's just like, no, like, look at Deadpool and Wolverine. Look, it smashed records in a matter of 3 days. This is kind of a funny article I should have saved it and pulled it up, but it's long gone by now, whatever. But the wording of like how they word some of these headlines and some of these articles, I came across one maybe yesterday that was saying Deadpool and Wolverine, like, you know, surpass the last Marvel movie to come out. And because I've largely given up on the MCU at this point, I had to go back. I had to like dig through the article and be like, what was the last Marvel movie that came out? The Marvels. So they're like, oh yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine just like shattered it in a matter of 3 days. So the entire
that was after a month and a half. Yeah.
The whatever the Marvels made during their entire box office run, Deadpool and Wolverine smashed it in less than 3 days. But the way they worded it, they didn't even want to say the title of the movie. Like, you had to really dig. It was like at the bottom of the article, it's like the Marvels. I'm like, well, of course it beat the Marvels. Nobody saw that movie.
No, not even the 17 people that saw Quantum Mania. They didn't see the Marvels.
Quantum Mania, that's what the last one was called. I did see that one.
Jacob has a good point
theaters,
there.
but I did watch it, and it was awful. It was so bad.
Red Hulk
even Paul Rudd couldn't save that one.
Yeah, I don't think they can do Hulk movies. It's a Hulk partly owned by somebody else.
No, they can do Hulk movies.
Yeah, they just for whatever reason haven't done any other standalones since Edward Norton.
No, they didn't.
I don't know why.
For whatever reason, they can't make it work well. They haven't made it work well. I thought the Ed Norton film was good. It's certainly the best standalone Hulk movie. And Ed Norton was my favorite actor to play the Hulk, but apparently he's kind of a nightmare to work with. Whatever. I'll take the nightmare to work with over Mark Rubio vomiting woke stuff at me.
Lecturing you about climate change. I log in.
So he can suck my giant red ball.
Just one.
So. Just one. So the Red Hulk is I'm going to throw out something here. If this shouldn't be a spoiler to anybody, I hope it's not. Does anybody not know who Red Hulk is? You don't, do you?
I know.
I'll hold off on my comments. I won't even blow it for you guys. Then everybody knows who Red Hulk is already.
Speak your truth.
No, it's not. It's not in the comic books. You know who Red Hulk is. Red Hulk is Thunderbolt Ross. It's not like I said, it's not a secret. So they brought out Harrison Ford. I love Harrison Ford, but Harrison Ford is like 100 years old.
82.
So, you know, God love him.
And he doesn't look anything like the actor he's replacing. Like, we're supposed to believe this is the same character.
I don't even care that, you know, about the recast. They were gonna, you know, I wish they'd recast, you know,
like even the crack in the trailer where he's like, oh, it's like you got rid of the mustache. Like, they even had to like make a joke about it. It's like, just don't even like.
So it's a Red Hulk is Jennifer Lawrence. Yes, Dempsey. In fact, Red Hulk is Jennifer Lawrence. She is the first Hulk, the best Hulk, the strongest Hulk.
Only when she's hungry.
Oh, that's hilarious. Man, so I don't care about the Captain America movie. If you were dumb enough like this guy to watch Falcon and Winter Soldier,
I did.
Nope.
It was bad.
I think that was the last Marvel series I watched. No, maybe Hawkeye. Or now I can't remember what order they came out.
To act like Ragnarok was Planet Hulk.
Yes, Dempsey,
Ragnarok was not Planet Hulk. I loved Planet Hulk. That's
Hulk was we're gonna get, but
freaking awesome. They should have done that. They should have done that instead. They should have done, you know, that would have been a way better movie. And you don't have to screw up lore. You don't have to
the best Hulk movie ever. Who did they? What was it? They brought Hulk in, and he brought his son. It was in the
that was the end of She-Hulk, dude.
That was she. Okay.
Except it
like
wasn't
the Lloyd Christmas bowl cut. Like,
yeah, it was like retarded Hulk, man. It was bad. Scar does not look like he's retarded. That looked like he was retarded. A little bit. Got the syndrome, Hulk.
Got a touch of the tism.
It's not healthy. It's bad.
But so yeah, this article I pulled up.
7 X chromosomes.
Deadpool and Wolverine, all the box office records broken. highest R-rated opening of all time, both worldwide and domestic.
And that's great. That's
444.1 million worldwide, 211 million domestic. Deadpool and Wolverine beats previous record holder Deadpool, like Blair said, beat out the first Deadpool movie. Biggest global opening since Avatar: The Way of Water. Who cared about that movie? Biggest domestic opening ever for Ryan Reynolds.
Wait.
The Avatar sequel?
I can't even believe I never saw that.
I never saw it.
I never wanted to see it.
Nobody talks about these movies.
No one talks about it. They go away.
It's like we've been like hit with a neuralizer on these things until someone mentions oh yeah, that movie came out.
Biggest domestic opening for both Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. Biggest domestic opening ever for filmmaker Sean Levy. Highest July opening weekend of all time at domestic box office, but couldn't have already been a year. When did Oppenheimer come out?
Oh, that was last year.
Yeah, last year.
I don't think it was July though. I don't think it's been a full year yet. Marvel Cinematic Universe is the highest grossing film franchise of all time with 30 billion, spanning 34 titles, blah, 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 blah. Highest domestic opening weekend of 2024 and highest since Spider-Man No Way Home. So again, people were excited about that one, about the Spider-Man No Way Home, partially because it was a Sony vehicle, so it was a little bit better, and because it had the other actors. That's like the only movie where I feel like the multiverse thing worked, because they were able to kind of like do a cheeky, like fun play with like the other actors that have actually played the character in other movies. Sixth highest opening of number 4 highest superhero opening weekend of all time, behind Avengers Endgame, Spider-Man No Way Home, and Infinity War. All great movies.
All the big ones. Yep.
Those are the big ones. And number 2 highest opening weekend for a third installment of all time, behind Avengers Endgame. There's all sorts of other stats and stuff in there that aren't really that interesting, but yeah, like you would think that Disney and Marvel and all of the higher ups and all the people that their paycheck depends on this would be taking a cue from this and be like, look, people are really excited for this. People really wanted to see this movie. There was no agenda. There was no like cramming
they made a joke
on anyone's throats
about the agenda.
They did. And I was really surprised that they let them do that. Like,
it was very funny.
Again, like no spoilers or anything, but like Ryan Reynolds, aka Deadpool, like directly makes a joke about like Disney just making everything woke and everything needing to have an agenda. And I'm just like, how did they get away with this joke? They're owned by Disney now. It's like they're not learning anything. Like, no,
don't get your hopes up. This is remember when Maverick came out, and Maverick was the first big movie since
like the highest grossing movie of the year.
But and everybody's like, well, look what they did. Look what they did. Why don't they do more of that? And then they didn't. They didn't even try. They just gave you a bunch of largely forgettable movies until Barbie and Oppenheimer came along. And then it's trying to remember any other movie that came out besides Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Nope.
It's like, there's nothing there, man. There's like nothing there. So and that's just tragic. And now everybody's excited about this movie. And should they take a cue from that? Absolutely. They should, but they won't. They're going to screw it up because that's what they do.
They can't get out of their own way.
Reverse the rigid security.
He looks so young.
Yeah.
Baby face.
Oh. Yeah, it's bad. Like every time a movie is actually successful, even Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was wildly successful. And you want to know why? Because there was no woke agenda and you cared about the characters. They made you care more about those animals that you saw on screen for maybe a combined total of like 10 minutes, more than you've cared about any character in the MCU since 2018.
Yeah.
No,
But-
the Acolyte, which I endured. I watched 8 episodes of that. I didn't care about a character in that show, not one. When the main guy gets killed off, spoilers, don't care.
No,
You
I'm not
have
going to watch it.
zero
You're fine.
emotional attachment to these characters, though. It's just like, all right, now he's dead. Just doesn't matter. It just like House of Dragon does a good job of this, but that's a much more structured, well-funded, better written universe. So when something happens in that, although even then, what the old Bragging Broad kicked off a couple weeks back, I didn't shed a tear. I'd be like, oh, I can't believe this. And you've had like a season and a half with her, but I maybe I'm just cold and dead inside. That's possible. I won't deny it. Especially off the alcohol, I'm a lot harder to tear up. Doctor Who used to make me weep. Whatever. It doesn't happen anymore. I cry because it's so bad. I know I'm on a little bit of a ramble here. I got to get going in a couple minutes. Did you want to hit the Olympics, or do you want to stick with? We can stay here. This is good stuff.
We got this. I also wanted to talk about Gina Carano's lawsuit with Disney moving forward. We could touch on the Olympics if we want to, but this one is because this is actually a really good segue. Speaking of Disney, as many of you know, I'm sure everyone here watching is aware of when Gina Carano was fired by Disney from her spot on The Mandalorian for her outspoken views on social media about events over the last few years. Don't really need to rehash that, and but this was I'm never going to call it X. This was a Twitter post from I think a day or two ago. So a quick little bit of backstory. Again, I'm sure everyone here knows this, but Elon Musk lobbed a tweet out there a while ago that said, if you feel like you were wrongfully terminated from your job due to restrictions, lockdowns, not taking the experimental thing, blah, blah, blah. He's like, I will pay your legal fees. Gina tweeted back, like, do I qualify? Like, kind of, I'm not really sure. And he came back and he's like, I will fund your lawsuit against Disney because she was fired. And she basically found out on the internet the same way everyone else did. They didn't call her. They didn't text her. They didn't email her. Like, she woke up and like checked the internet and was like, oh, I've been fired. So like not even being professional about the way they did it. Anyways, so Elon Musk is going to fund her lawsuit. She lodged the complaint and it went before a judge. Disney tried to go and have it thrown out. So a couple weeks ago, she tweeted that they went in, made their cases. Disney says they want it thrown out. She wants it to move forward. And the judge said, I'll make a ruling soon. So the judge ruled. This was her tweet from just a couple days ago. So the court denies the defendant's motion. So denied Disney's motion.
Yes.
She says, I am moved to tears after a brutal 3.5 years. I'm being given the opportunity to move forward in the court of law before the judge and my peers to clear my name. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. What happened to me was unacceptable, absurd, and abusive, among other things. It should not have happened to me, and it should not happen to anyone else moving forward. Let it stop here. I quite literally fought to get where I am in my career through intense ups and downs, and I'll keep up that fight to continue doing what I love. I appreciate all of you who stood by me and defended me, and I'm so sorry that similar situations have happened to some of you. I want you to know that I see you and I stand with you. Thank you to Elon Musk, a man I have never even met, who so graciously gave me a fighting chance. Thank you for standing for justice for all of humanity. May God bless you and your family for years to come, because he has chosen you for such a time as this. Below is an interview I did with Ben Shapiro 3.5 years ago, February 2021. At my lowest point, I was wounded and in so much pain, but I feel that pain lifting now. I pray for justice to shine through this case. It's been one heck of a life. I'm looking forward to getting back to the art of storytelling and doing my part to help the world to heal. Thank you all. I'm sure it will be quite a battle, but God's given me the ability to take some punches and give some back. My feet are on solid ground. And then down here, she has the interview she did with Ben Shapiro. So yeah, I think there's probably still a long battle ahead, and whether she wins the lawsuit or not is, very much still remains to be seen. It's like Disney has a lot of money. Elon Musk has a lot of money. We'll see who can buy the better lawyers.
Yeah.
But this is huge. Like somebody going up against a massive corporation like Disney. Yeah.
Well, it's
I
not
hope it
just
goes-
in the nerd sphere now either. It's not just people like us talking about this. Glenn Beck picked this up a little bit ago. Gary from Nerdrotic has been on his show and talking about this, and Stu and Glenn have been talking about that the Gina Carano case very specifically because other people from Disney have dropped. Let's call them. I don't want to say they're similar because they're not. What the comparison she was doing was very apt. The ones that they do are the same hyperbolic BS that their
extreme.
side always does. Well, it's what they call when they call us the Z's. It's not. We're not. Have you ever seen what they did? What they do on their side is far more similar to what that side did back in World War II. Anyway. So, but other Pedro Pascal has done similar stupid shit. The fat guy, Jack Black, obviously he got in trouble now too. But Disney isn't getting rid of them. They're, but they got rid of Gina because she went against company line as far as
because they're on the right
went.
side of their agenda.
Yes.
So
They're in the
but according to Jacob here, he says that he's been fired and rehired by you multiple times over. I think he might be entitled to compensation.
No, Jacob gets fired usually because of memes. Those memes often involve breadsticks. Sometimes it's more than breadsticks, Jacob.
Oh, but
that's
they're gold.
Why you get fired.
Those memes are gold.
Gold breadsticks. And on that note, fellas, I am going to have to depart the show this afternoon. I'm sorry I have to go, but I have pressing matters that I must attend to.
Yeah.
I would rather not.
I think we, as we often manage to do, I think we managed to kind of cover everything in our hour. Yeah. So I think we could just kind of call it here.
All right.
Yeah. Because we could talk about the Olympics, but whatever. Everyone knows what's going on.
If you're going to talk, I'm going to beam out. But
no. I think that was more your thing. I'm kind of indifferent to it. Like whatever. I'm not watching. I don't care about the Olympics. And
it was garbage. It was heresy, and they're all going to hell. Covered. There we go.
I didn't even really care in previous years, but now I really don't care. But even I'm just one of those people where I'm like, I don't care.
I went from apathy to hatred, but it's fine.
Yeah, there's that. But the world is obsessed with drag queens now for some reason, and having children involved with drag queens. But
and mocking the baby Jesus, it's fine, whatever.
Yeah.
And then he killed the lights in Paris, which was good. Appreciated that.
Anyways, Roman, what do you got going on this week?
So this Thursday we're actually doing something fun. We do fun things on the channel from time to time.
Oh, good. You're finally actually doing something fun for once.
We are talking about Them, the 1954 giant ant movie.
Yes.
I love this movie. This movie was great. So we're gonna be talking about that this week. I think Sunday I'm on with Ryan Roger Athe and Dempsey. Yeah, Dempsey. And I don't know, some other musician types. One Pacific Standard, and it's reality-based music, just musicians talking music stuff, which is fun. And then not this Thursday coming up, not the Big Ant Show, but the Thursday, August 8th, 5 Pacific Standard, it's my I Didn't Die Day. And so we're going to be having a bit of a party.
You made another trip around the sun.
Everybody's invited. I'm going to drop a link in the Friends of the Empire on Twitter, and everybody can hop in, and we can you can all make fun of me at your delight.
Well, that's easy. So and
I will be drinking again then, so it'll be good. And then the following Thursday,
Roman will finally be fun again.
I'm actually competing against my own show at 5 Pacific Standard. I'm going to be over at Dames and Dorks with Nomi and that crew. So that'll be fun. A little bit outside my normal zone. So it'll be good. And that's I think everything that is in the lineup.
Is it possible that you're actually more busy now as a retiree than when you were working?
No. No.
Sometimes it seems like it.
It does. But no.
Yeah, Blair, you got anything coming up this week, or
I ain't doing shit. So
Sometimes that's also good. Just I drag you on here for a Monday show, and then you just relax and do your thing for the rest of the week. And yeah.
Yep. I'll join Roman on his show on the 8th.
Yeah, I'll probably at least jump in on that one. Actually, I think like I'm not going to change the name of my channel, but I keep joking that I need to just like start popping in on every live stream I can and just be the resident normie. Like I have no idea what's going on here, but I'm just going to be here to be the resident normie and to make fun of Roman. And it doesn't take much to get him triggered and yelling and screaming and yeah. All right, cool guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, Lady Marine, Jacob Ironside, Dempsey, Cajun Corey for jumping into the chat this evening. This has been Late to the Party News, and we will hopefully see you again next Monday. As I'm sure there will be more news stories to pop up this week that I will be late to talking about. Anyways, guys, enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you next time.
Later.